delicate balance that has to be found. And very often inflation sort of sets that benchmark anyway. And prices generally from sugar don't really exceed the rate of inflation. And that's been really low in the last few years. And obviously that's the unhappiness from a farmer's perspective, is because input costs are increasing by between 8 and 10%. When revenue is only going up by around 3 or 4%.
Thomas, let me ask you about the elephant in the room, or the cane rat in the room, and how serious is the uncertainty around Tongaat Hulett for growers who depend on its mills? My understanding is that 3 of those mills opened later than the rest. That surely would have an adverse impact on farmers on the ground.
It definitely does. And the anxiety out in the areas that deliver to Tongaat Hulett is huge. 18,000 farmers of our 28,000 farmers deliver to those 3 mills. And if Tongaat Hulett were to close its doors, the impact would be catastrophic. So we've been working around the clock, supported by DTIC. Minister Tau and Godlimpi have been really kind to the farmers. IDC also really understanding the case of the farmers and doing their best to try and find a solution. We just hope that we can stave off that liquidation application on the 17th of June. We'll be participating in court and making the case for the farmers. And hopefully a solution can be found that is not liquidation and actually continuity of the business.
But if the Tongaat situation deteriorates and imports, as we've discussed, stay elevated, what's the worst case scenario then for the industry this season?
Yeah, the worst case would be a closure of those mills, those 3 important assets. And with that, obviously, thousands, tens of thousands of job losses, because suddenly those farmers wouldn't earn an income. They wouldn't be able to deliver their sugarcane. And that would result in unrest, I think, in those rural areas. So very often, one forgets that these small-scale farmers in the rural areas only have one source of income, apart maybe from a grant, a government grant here or there. But sugarcane is that source of income and that economic activity in those areas. So, yeah, without the mills being open and accepting sugarcane, that would lead to huge job losses. We're estimating around 40,000 jobs just in those areas alone.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Thomas Funke, who's Chief Executive Officer at SA Canegrowers.
Hot Business is powered by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking, recognized as the best Pan-African bank for SMEs. For tailored solutions and deep sector expertise, search Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking today.
The Hot 1027 Breakfast.
But you remember, I was talking about labubus and you thought I was having a seizure. Naomi Osaka has like a $13,000 labubu. This is the exact same thing. Who needs a pocket watch when you have a wrist watch and you have your phone? Now you're going to dangle a Funko Pop from your what? From your belt. What is she saying?
I didn't understand one word. Labubu, Funko Pop, dangle. No idea.
I got lost as well. Yeah, so did I. I'm checking out.
The Hot 1027 Breakfast.
Back tomorrow morning at 5:30.
Powered by Airlink.
The freedom of the African sky.
When you choose Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking, you choose more than a bank. Not every business needs the same solution. It starts with understanding your industry, your pressure points, and where you want to go. From public sector to healthcare, legal and accounting, their sector specialists deliver support that's practical, strategic, and built to last. Search Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking and see what tailored banking really looks like. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
You may wonder why there's always so many buckies outside Universal Paints. Well, they stop there because at Universal, you're buying direct from the manufacturers so they know their paints inside out. They stop there because of Universal's huge range, quality, and the best color matching service you'll find. But the most important reason is that every Universal Paint store is independently owned and operated. They try harder because the bucky stops with them. Find your nearest direct outlet at universalpaints.co.za.
Hot Business is powered by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking, recognized as the best Pan-African bank for SMEs. For tailored solutions and deep sector expertise, search Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking today.
South Africa's private healthcare system is facing a slow-burning sustainability crisis. This is worrying. Younger people, the very members that medical schemes need to balance risk, are increasingly walking away. Why? Well, because they simply cannot afford the monthly cost. cost. At the same time, healthcare inflation, hospital costs, and weak employment are placing even more strain on the system. This warning from Nedbank's healthcare analysis is that it's not just an NHI debate, it is now a hard economic question about whether private healthcare can remain viable for the middle class. I want to discuss this in a little more detail. Luyanda Ndilo is with me, Senior Equity Research Analyst for Healthcare at Nedbank Corporate and Investment Banking. Luyanda, a very warm welcome to you, and this is very worrying. Are medical schemes pricing younger South Africans completely out of the system? Is that the contention from your research?
Yeah, Jeremy, thank you for having me. So the issue is the way the medical aid schemes are designed is that the younger people help subsidize the cost of the older high-claim members within a medical aid scheme. The issue in South Africa that we have is that the youth unemployment is quite high. It used to be around about 36% back in 2015. It's currently around 45.8% in the first quarter of 2026. So young people are not joining the medical aid scheme, and the ones who are in the medical aid scheme are dropping out. And then this results in a spiral effect in which the contributions or the premiums that the medical aid schemes charge become more expensive, which historically they've been higher than inflation.
So if young, healthier members are leaving, are we at the point now where the entire medical aid model in South Africa is starting to slowly unravel?
Yes, we're at a point where structurally it's under pressure. If I'm just giving you stats, from a period between 2015 to 2024, we saw an 18% decline from members who are aged between 25 to 34. Now, these are crucial because they help subsidize the cost of healthcare members.
So how serious then is the risk of a real death spiral here? Fewer younger members, higher average claims, even higher premiums. What's the timeline on sustainability, do you think?
Yeah, so in my view, it's going to take around about another 5 to 10 years. If we continue on this trajectory, it's going to become increasingly unaffordable for people to maintain a medical aid scheme. And the reason why I say this is because around about 52% of all beneficiaries, according to SARS data, earn between 200 to 500,000 per annum. Now, this is a very sensitive middle class segment of the market. So if you continue to increase premiums at